Hi everyone, this is Bruce Hall here again today to talk to you about some more digital transformation and provoke some more thoughts. As my channel is Digital Transformation, the Thought Provoker. Today I want to talk about Internet of Things and specifically the configuration files required for the Internet of Things. So as we start transitioning more and more into intelligent devices throughout your facilities, these devices need configuration. I would like to show you here a prime example. So, back in the day, all your thermostats, there was the old bimetallic thermostats, the great old Honeywell dial thermostat here that my dad still to this day loves because he cannot screw it up, is used to run everything. You set the temperature and it would do it all day long. Well, now, you have things like the ecobee, your digital thermostat. Did I spend $200 to replace this for this? Absolutely I did. You know why? Is because for one, I have a passion in it. Two, the ecobee provides different feature sets that the old dial doesn't do. Now, if your overall goal is to hold the temperature in your house to a specific set point, the old dial bimetallic one did it just fine and did it all day long. Well, now with the new digital ones, you can do energy savings, you can do other changing of settings. Also, when I added a humidifier to my furnace, I was able to add that feature set to my electronic thermostat, the ecobee. And there's a whole lot of extra feature sets with that. Now with that though, you got to configure it. You got to configure, this device. Now, this thing's pretty easy. For one, it just connects Wi-Fi. It doesn't need to communicate to any other devices. And it has a wizard. It's pretty self-explanatory. There's not a ton of features. Yes, it is programmable, but it doesn't have a ton. When you start going into your facilities and you start to add, say, smart motor control, there's a lot more configuration needs to be done in those. And teams spend a lot of time doing the configuration of those. Now, when you do the configuration, if you don't look at it properly, those configuration files are only going to reside within those devices. Now, when you start thinking about the number of these devices, it's not one or two. You're probably talking 1,000, 1,200, 1,500 is actually something is very common in a medium-sized facility. Thinking of a paper machine, you're going to be around the 1,200 to 1,300 devices just for your motor loads, just for your motor protection, your drives, your protection relays. So when you start thinking about all these configuration files, you need to be figuring out where you're going to be putting these things long term. Because otherwise, if you're only storing them in the device, if that device ever fails, that means then someone's going to have to go dig out the manual, guess what the previous set points are, and try to reset it back up. Where a lot of times the previous device was tuned, it had other parameters set to make sure that it communicates correctly, and there might even been other logic in there that the maintenance guy at 2 a.m. may not be aware of. When you start looking at this, and last week I talked about integrated process and power. One of the key things here about an integrated process and power is I said that the power becomes an extension of the process system. If you have that, you can make these configuration files and these smart devices actually reside in the same controllers that everything else is residing in. And so when you have a failure, you can replace that hardware device and then you can download that configuration file out of your process controller. So I will say not all process control systems are capable of this. So far through all my videos, I really haven't talked about any manufacturer specific capability sets. But here I do want to kind of plug my current employer, Rockwell. This is because their process control system is very capable of this. They're very capable of integrating both that process and power space together. They're very capable of storing those configuration files really inherently as a part of their system design to back up all those configuration files. To be honest, you configure those in the controller rather than the device themselves. And that really enables and simplifies the interaction between the process system and the power system. So when you're evaluating your process control systems, you should be taking this into consideration. If you're intending to get to Industry 4.0, you're intending to leverage smart motor control, you need to be thinking about how you're going to integrate that smart motor control into your process system. It should be seamless, not manual. All right, team, so that's my topic that I have for this week, specifically about digital transformation and transforming your facility from Industry 3.0 to Industry 4.0. Look for me next week, and I look forward to talking to you then again. Thank you.